down to Coquitlam Centre, the Save On Foods, and drop off that non-perishable food item.
Yeah, and we're getting a lot of people come by, but room for many more. This is a huge success so far.
And they're not getting rained on.
No, they're not. A few raindrops, that's about all. But many raindrops to come later on. We hope that rain holds off a few more hours. But it's on the radar. It's pushing our way for dinner time onward, perhaps, is the greatest chance of rain. Overnight temperature down to 3 tomorrow. Rain
Surprised?
Well, I never give you anything. That's my Christmas present to you. A bit of sun on Friday and a bit cooler. And
tell you what,
yes,
I'll trade it for a can of food for the food bank.
Good thinking.
Non-perishable food item.
All right, 6 degrees downtown right now. Gord, back to you.
The weather brought to you by the furniture stores on United Boulevard in Coquitlam. Well worth the trip if a new dining room suite, sofa, or bedroom suite's on your Christmas wish list. Western Canada's largest furniture mall, United Boulevard. We're live on location outside the Save On Foods at Coquitlam Centre. We're going to talk about regifting in just a moment. I think the only regifting you should be allowed to do today is a donation to the food banks. We're at the Tri-Cities. We're trying to help out the Tri-Cities Food Bank because they got a big problem. 1,000 families with no Christmas hampers, and we're trying to solve that today. Angela Calla joins me. You hear her every weekend on CKNW. Angela, thank you very much for stopping by.
Oh, you're welcome. It's a pleasure to be here. This is absolutely one of my favorite times a year, and there's nothing that I appreciate more than having the ability to sit around with my family and enjoy a good meal. So today I decided to bring down a check for $150 because I know that my money here can go 2 to 1. So I'd rather know that when I'm sitting down to Christmas dinner that I've had the ability to help a lot more people.
Angela, thank you very much. That's very generous, and we need a lot of people today because the Tri-Cities Food Bank, but food banks all across Metro Vancouver and the province need help. So we appreciate your generosity. Thank you. My
pleasure, and I would like to have any other Tri-Cities business person in the area here also drop off a check for $150 or more.
And, of course, that money can be converted right away into food by the Tri-Cities Food Bank. Steve Darling of Global Television joins me. Now, Steve, you've been involved with the Share folks who run the food bank for a long, long time, long before this thing blew up.
Yeah, it's funny when you think about it because you think of the Tri-Cities as having a pretty affluent population, into Port Moody and places like that, Westwood Plateau and things. But surprisingly, the need is great here. And the one thing that I've noticed in doing a lot of events for them and seeing sort of the people that they're helping is that the dynamic is really changing. It's not the typical homeless person that you would think that needs, a place to stay, they need food. It's actually usually people who have two working parents, and they just can't make ends meet, and they have to make a decision. Do we keep the heat on, or do we have food? It's one of the two, and that's where it's shocking when you think about it. In our 2010, almost 2011, that there's families out there that just can't make ends meet. It really is tough, and so the thing is with what's going on here today is so important is that the food bank shuts down for 3 weeks, so they have to make sure that they have the hampers ready to go at a certain time, because if they don't, then a week and a half in, these families have no food, and where do they go? I mean, that's the problem. They can't sign up anywhere because you have to sign up to use the food bank, and then they have to sort of stand in line and wait for things to happen. So it's important that they get these things together and make
your kind donation, but we can use food, we can use cash, but we do need help.
You do, and this is the time of year where we're very fortunate. In my business, I help people each and every day save money, and there's lots of opportunities and stories that they share, and life is circumstantial. It brings us things that we can't control. We have illness, we have job loss, and the most important thing is that we here in our community can support the people around us. And so remember, every donation matters. It doesn't matter how big or how small. Any contribution will help your neighbor.
But the great thing about this, Gord, if you look outside, I mean,
it's happening. We're looking at it. That's cool.
And that's what's great about this community. I mean, I've lived in. My wife grew up here. She grew up in the Tri-Cities. Her mom still lives here, and I grew up in North Delta, but now this is my community. I love the Tri-Cities, and so to see these people just showing up and saying, hey, we heard you guys talking about it this morning. We heard Gord talking about it today. We knew you were going to be here. Want to be a part of it. Here's how I can help my neighbor. That's huge.
And sorry, I just not only people heard that we'd be here, they're coming down. They're very generous with cash and bringing their food products down, but they're stumbled on us a bit here, and now they're going into the grocery store and bringing stuff out for us, and it's very, very nice to see.
Yeah, take the time. I saw it on my Facebook. I uploaded it on my Facebook, and we had a couple friends come down today, so the message needs to be out. Take the 10 minutes on your way home. Take a coffee break. This is a great way to spend your day.
Angela, Steve, don't go away.